This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1015, Why We Need to Learn Better Relationship Skills, by Dennis Berry of dennisberry.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to ORD. I am your host and narrator, Greg Audino, wishing you a happy 4th of July if you're here in the U.S. I'm trying to get better at remembering to wish you guys good tidings on holidays here on the show. I always seem to forget. So I hope you're being safe this weekend if you are listening in real time and if you are here in the U.S. And if so, thanks for taking the time away from the festivities. Now, today's post comes from new author Dennis Berry, who is going to speak to why we need to learn better relationship skills and what those skills might be. So, without further delay, let's jump right into this post and start optimizing your life. Why we need to learn better relationship skills, by Dennis Berry of dennisberry.com. Do you love watching romantic comedies or perhaps historical romance movies on Netflix? Whether you're into those kinds of genres or not, romance is one of the most overrated genres in the film industry and in the media in general, and you're probably so familiar with the term love and relationships that you tend to mistake one for the other. With the overwhelming amount of media that we consume every day, there's no doubt that people from all walks of life will have different perceptions and beliefs about relationships. We often mistake love to be a driving force for us to enter a relationship. And this is one of the biggest no-nos of every relationship expert. Why? Because entering a relationship is not a joke, it's a commitment. There's no foolproof method for entering a relationship. But we learn from other people's experiences. With the help of a personal coach or relationship expert, you can navigate relationships as smoothly as possible. Still, it is never an easy path, and it always requires hard work and commitment from both parties. Most of us have different views about relationships and the types of relationships: family relationships, friendships, acquaintances, and romantic relationships. These are the primary relationship types that we often have at such a young age until we are functioning adults. Our relationships are powerful enough to shape and influence our character, beliefs, and values. Our relationships can also affect our spirituality, health, and wellness. But then, one of the most highlighted or glorified types of relationships is romantic relationships. It seems we all have this grand idea about relationships and love. It's only natural for us to gravitate towards something so powerful and life-changing as well. The relationships we have at such a young age help us lay personal foundations about right or wrong and build relationships with other people. For example, if you grew up in a healthy and loving family, the way you see the world and your attitude might differ from someone who grew up in a very dysfunctional family setting. And it's also on a case-to-case basis, since I'm not saying that those who grew up in a nearly perfect family setting don't have more problems than those who have thrived in a chaotic family setup. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship, regardless if it's a romantic relationship or a family relationship. Since forming a bond with a person or a group of people can be a smooth experience, others have difficulties. And it's completely understandable since people have different beliefs, histories, experiences that shape them into their being. And when it comes to building a relationship with someone, it's all about being compatible and finding your home, in a sense. You feel comfortable and welcomed into their lives. It's normal for a relationship to have its ups and downs since life is full of uncertainties. And once you build a solid foundation and have the proper attitude or mindset, you can intentionally attach to someone. I'll give you a scenario about how complex relationships can be and how your skills can help you navigate relationships. You might be a career-oriented person, such as a writer, customer service representative, or chef. All of these jobs need specific skills to be qualified. And just like any job, it requires dedication and commitment. The same thing goes with relationships. And every time you have to enter a new company or employer, you need to know what type of company or the ground you have to work on from the first day that you expressed your interest in working with them. Skills that you'll be needing for a better relationship are: Number 1. Separating your past from the present. First things first, Do not bring your emotional baggage or past hurt in a new relationship. Why? Since it can wreak havoc on your new relationship with someone, and the last thing you want to do is keep on comparing your past relationship to your new one, since it is a new chapter that you have to explore together. You have to know when to let go and have the maturity to understand that relationships end for a reason, and have the respect for your partner by not bringing it up. You need to start a relationship from scratch, where you have already let go of your emotional baggage or past trauma, since it's unfair to your partner if you will still live in the past while you are with someone living in the present with you. Number 2, listening skills. Listening is a skill that we get at such a young age. For example, you might be stubborn or have an attitude problem when you're younger. You don't listen to your mom whenever she asked you to take the trash out of the house. Then you didn't do anything to change those habits or make any adjustments. Now that you're older, it can foster problems in your relationships that can damage both parties. Anything that a person has acquired growing up can stick with them for a long time, and it can be hard to unlearn, and it just becomes a negative trait when they're older. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible to work on. Having solid listening skills can take you far, not just professionally, but also in your personal development. That's why you must listen carefully and attentively to whatever your partner or family members say, learning to accept constructive criticism and take heed of their advice to help aid your personal growth. Number 3, showing empathy. It's essential to be empathetic whenever you are in a relationship. Having the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes and connect with them emotionally. It will help you be more emotionally intelligent. It can help your relationship be much stronger when you understand how the other party feels, and you'll have an idea of what area to work on, which can be a win-win situation for the both of you. You just listened to the post titled, Why We Need to Learn Better Relationship Skills by Dennis Berry of DennisBerry.com. And everybody, we come to the OLD community to work on ourselves, right? We all want to do this, especially long-term, but therapy can be expensive. Well, there's a new way to grow that we are really excited to be partnering with, and that's TAT Lab. TAT Lab, or the Angry Therapist Lab, has live Zoom group classes led by a team of therapists and coaches on everything from relationship building tools to conquering codependency, trauma work to breath work, even astrology readings. There's also a social hour in which everyone can talk freely and build new friendships. See, this is not therapy. It's part lecture and part group engagement, a fun way to work on your emotional well-being from home and meet like-minded people while doing so. So go to tatlab.app and use discount code ORD at checkout to get unlimited live classes, plus hundreds of hours of audio lessons and courses on a variety of wellness topics for only $20, the price of a gym class drop-in fee, for a limited time only. Again, go to www.tatlab.app and the discount code is ORD, all letters in lowercase. This is the new way to grow. We'll see you in the lab. And many thanks to Dennis, a first-time contributor to ORD. A bit more about him. He is a life mastery coach and has been working with people worldwide for over 15 years. He's been sober since April 8th, 2003, during which time he became a successful businessman, athlete, and family man. His journey in recovery helped him find his mission in life, which is to help others achieve inner peace and success, and master every area of their lives. Dennis knows what it is like to be helpless and hopeless with no positive direction. He was able to climb out of the gutter and transform his life, and he spends his life now helping others to do the same. And his post today was full of important reminders, I thought, not the least of which is how incredibly vast the spectrum of relationships is in terms of how many different shapes and sizes they come in, not to mention the many shapes and sizes of the experiences we bring to them. While I do think he makes a great point about being ready before entering a new relationship, I also think his other 2 bullet points about listening and showing empathy can really help us when some of that old baggage, as he puts it, does come up. We may be over our exes when entering new relationships, but the scars we have from them and how our behavior may be more defensive because of those relationships are definitely worth discussing with an understanding partner. It's key to understand that we carry poor responses and biases with us into new relationships sometimes. But being open about these things and having a new partner who will listen and support us when we're trying to discuss them, that can be really wonderful so long as there's no exploitation. Like not making an effort to improve upon them or using our past as excuses to treat new partners poorly. So food for thought. That will bring us to the end though, everybody. So glad you stopped in today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you back here tomorrow with a post from Dr. Margaret Rutherford, where your optimal life awaits.